now I'm reading a book called The Catcher in the Rye. I don't know, my service had dropped, but we're back. I'm not going to be on long. I just have to get my daily read, and my daily read is about 5 pages. I already read a book, but I'm going to read at least a page out of my book here. She didn't give you a lot of horse manure. I read this yesterday, so we're going to go to the next page. Guy, the axe quit frequently at Pensy. It has a very good academic rating. Pensy. It really does. Anyway, it was December and it was cold as a witch's teat, especially on top of that stupid hill. I only had on my reversible and no gloves or anything. The week before that, nobody stolen my camel's hair coat right out of my room, with my fur-lined gloves right in the pocket and all. Pensy was full of crooks. Quite a few guys came from these very wealthy families, but it was full of crooks anyway. The more expensive a school is, the more crooks it has. I'm not kidding. Anyway, I kept standing next to the crazy cannon, looking down at the game and freezing my ass off. Only I wasn't watching the game too much. What I was really hanging around for. I was trying to feel some kind of a good book. I mean, I've left schools and places I didn't even know I was leaving them. I hate that. I don't care if it's a sad goodbye or a bad goodbye. But when I leave a place, I like to know I'm leaving it. If you don't, you feel even worse. I was lucky. All of a sudden, I thought of something that helped make me know I was getting the hell out. I suddenly remembered this time in around October that I and Robert Tenchner and Paul Campbell were chucking a football around in front of the academic building. They were nice guys, especially Tincher. It was just before dinner and it was getting pretty dark out, but we kept chucking the ball around anyway. It kept getting darker and darker, and we could hardly see the ball anymore, but we didn't want to stop doing what we were doing finally. We had to. Perfect. All right. We got done. We read our page. I'm going to read a little bit more later. That's how I kind of get through these books. But right now we're reading The Catcher in the Rye. So that's the book we're on right now, The Catcher in the Rye. The other book we read was The Giver. Finished The Giver off. And we'll be running through this book. We'll be running through The Catcher in the Rye. That'll be our book right now. Yeah. So I read a book before this earlier and had a little moment with that book. That book was really good. It was a kid's book about, here, I'll put it up here. It's never too late. A kid's book for adults. It's never too late. A kid's book for adults. This book was really good. Had a good message, and it was perfectly kind of spread out for an adult who can't read that well. So who wants an adult reading, but not allowed to read, you know? So